Okay, hello. Today we're gonna present on um, the most important purpose of education. So we have candidate A, which is me, candidate B, which is Nisha, candidate C, Filda, candidate D is Ahmad, Zafar, and Zakwan. So we're gonna discuss on that. So for me, I think most important purpose of education is it enables one to earn more income. For most people, the ability to earn more money is the driving force behind going to college. A post-secondary degree, whether it's a bachelor's, a master's, or a PhD, is the most common route to careers that demand higher skills and offer higher pay. Studies show that college graduates earn significantly more money throughout their lifetime than those with only high school education, according to a national report by the State Higher Education Executive Officers Association. High school graduates earn an average of almost $30,000 per year. Bachelor's graduates earn an average of just over $50,000 a year. And those with higher level degrees, which are masters or doctorates or professional, average nearly $70,000 per year. This translates to a significant earnings gap over the course of one's life. Earnings potential varies depending on what field you work in. For example, a master's degree in education or nursing won't lead to nearly as much wealth as a master's degree in engineering or business. But education and nursing are far and away the most in-demand professions out there. If you enter one of these fields, you're likely to find a good job somewhere, even if it doesn't pay as well a job in engineering or business. So that's why I think that the most important purpose of education enables one to earn more income. So what do you think, candidate B, Nisha?
Well, I partially agree with candidate A. Getting education doesn't mean you're just getting income. It's more to life. In my opinion, the most important purpose of education is to produce people with good character. A person with education are groomed to be well-mannered and differentiate between good and bad. We are taught not just academic but good values, to be respectful, humble, and responsible. Education allows people to communicate with each other decently to avoid misunderstanding. People with good character will be more respected because they are able to lead a conversation and say appropriate things without hurting others. And they know how to speak and how to lead a conversation without being too emotional and saying the wrong words and unfiltered words. Thus, people who are educated develop good habits and good character to listen before speaking and saying words they are not supposed to. Well, I would like to hear from candidate C. What do you think?
Thank you, Nisha. But in my view, one of the most important purpose of education is people can contribute the progress and development of the country. Why? Because people who have high education, they get lots of opportunities in getting job, and they will have lots of income. So, some of them will use the money to buy some groceries at supermarket, furniture, or anything else. Actually, if you realize that this way can improve the economy of our country, as people will pay tax for each thing that they bought. Besides, we know that in this era, national progress can be measured through the advancements of their technologies. So, education can increase the productivity and creativity of people in creating technology. For example, Japan, which is one of the most developed country in this world, is well known with their high tech. Even other countries such as China and America also brought their technologies. How Japan can produce that kind of technologies and sell them to other countries? Because most of their people study engineering education at high level. To know about machine, engine, and others. So, I can say that if there is no knowledge, people cannot produce any technologies. And if there is no technologies, Japan cannot be progressed just like now. I don't mean that only engineering education that is important in this world. Actually, medic education also important. Entrepreneur education, doctors education, and others also important. Others also important in this world in developing our country. So, this proof that contributes the progress and development of our country is the most important purpose of education. That's all for me. So, how about you, candidate D, Safa?
That is your point, Filda? Okay, I think I agree with point given by candidate Nisha, and I want to elaborate more about the best purpose of education. Education unites society because it brings people closer together. For instance, while in school, people have the chance to meet many different people, and most of the times, developing friendships. Also, exposure to different culture is the best way to have a better understanding with people from diverse backgrounds and cultures. And the people will be more or less parochial, more accepting, and to show greater interest in other cultures. Thus, a sense of unity is nurtured in each of every people. So that basically is my point. What do you think, Zakwan?
Yes, I agree with you. But I will elaborate more about the unite the people of the country. So education can unite the people of a country by make society become more tolerant. Education can make students closer and easy to understand to each other. This can be shown by activity that students undertake such as study group and social activity. It will build a good relationship and communication of people. All the words of agreement will help them on trusting to each other. They also can gain ability of society to help other people. Other than that, education can lead to learning of various races and religions. The mix of races in education can unite people in education and learning. They can learn on what the races is and polarizing the races. It will make a religion more acceptable and no racism between them. And lastly, the education can let people to learn mother language. As we know, a lot of country makes the mother language as a subject in education. The sociality of people will be more frequently. So people can easily understand conversation of each other and speak it smoothly. So that's all from me.
Okay. So what do you think? What is the best purpose of education? What do you guys think?
I think it's money, because I think like without money, you won't be able to sustain a life. So in order to get money, you guys have to get a job. In order to have a job, you need education. So I think money is very, very important in someone's life.
If education unites society, what do you think? does it best purpose than securing financial position?
In my opinion, money is not everything. You can still get education without money. Being a good person is more important than being a person with more money. You can also be a person with more money but no good values. What good is there in being a bad person?
But Nisha, for me, it's not easy to change people attitude with education. That's my opinion. So what about you?
It can be hard, but it's not impossible. You can still change a person's, well, not attitude, but values. You can instill someone with good values instead of just changing their whole attitude. You can instill them with being respectful, being humble, being responsible. You can teach them. That's why education is important. Education should be taught since they are little toddlers.
Yes, indeed, education is very important to us because education shape us who we are. So it's very important to get education so we know which is good, which is we can differentiate between good and bad. So also as a bonus, education can bring us fortune if we explore more in the education. So if we manage the education very good in other expertise. So I think the best purpose for education is point given by Nisha, which is
Produces people of good character.
okay. I agree with that point. What do you guys think, Zafwan, Adam, Hilda?
I agree too. I think
I agree with Nisha too.
So to conclude, the best points of education is it produces people of good character. That is the conclusion. So thank you for having a discussion and bye.
Thank you very much.